Hello everyone, Camdo here. Today I'm going to talk about the Iron Reapers and the best veterancy line and the best build that I've found and use. Um, so this build takes advantage of their new buff, alright, if you don't know. They now have 60% damage reduction and they reset it every time they use their 1 or 2 ability. Um, yeah, right here, as you can see. You could read it if you want to, but the reason this build works is a combination of doctrines and veterancy. So let's look at the doctrines first here, and we can see that I'm stacking a lot of damage reduction defenses as well as unit damage with this doctrine right here. Now I understand a lot of you guys will not have these doctrines or are using it on something else, which is perfectly good, but if you don't have this defense doctrine, you could just put like slashing defense. I find slashing defense is really good. Or if you don't have this, um, anything that increases health is pretty good also. Or maybe not. Maybe just put like a sprint doctrine. Here you can put siege fighter if you don't have it. And unit damage doctrine is pretty easy to get. Or you could replace it with the hero damage doctrine. But the most important thing, you want this. You actually do need epic combat doctrine. It's a total game changer. Alright, so let's look at the veterancy line here. Um, so I'm going full middle line, and I found it works really well because the middle line, first of all, this node right here is actually mandatory for like really any Iron Reaper build. I find it's the most all Iron Reaper builds where they go middle line up to this node, they're pretty good. I understand some people go top or full bottom. Well, actually no one goes full bottom, but I just find that anytime I try to build with this that goes all the way up to this node, it's way better. But I find that putting the rest of your points into bottom line takes advantage of that 60% damage reduction buff a lot more because you're making more use of that damage reduction, right? So not only are you reducing the damage by 60, you're already taking even less damage because you increase your defenses, you have more health, and you have this regeneration skill. And of course, more defenses and reduce more damage reduction from the rear. Now, you could also do this. You could just like uh you could not go full top or full middle, and like you could put these 3 veterancy points right here and just put it into the bottom line, which is a that's definitely viable, but I prefer going full middle line for the hero damage and 8%. 8% blunt damage is quite a lot actually. That's almost 10%, and 10% of this, or around, it's around like 170, 170 blunt damage, right? 170, 150, 150 to 200, somewhere around that range. But yeah, so that's the build I'm running. Alright, and let me show you some clips in battle. Okay guys, we are on Hidden City. Now, I'm looking around this corner. I see the Queen's Guard, the Queen's Knights, or whatever. So I just ignore them, but they do charge me, and they timed their ability actually pretty perfectly. I didn't do any damage on the charge, but alas, we had too much support. Now they did take 2 of us down, but yeah, it's not very didn't really affect us that much. But later in the match, we're actually pushing down the stairs. Alright, we see Onimusha. Alright, we see a Maul player. So we're just going down. Now the Onimusha are cooking up some of my allies. I just poke a bit of fun at them with my longsword ult. I maybe should have saved that so once we were actually in battle. I swapped the sword before charging. Now the reason is because these guys are unarmored and I don't need any block break. So, and I need the attack speed and all that good stuff. And look at the kills I'm getting. They killed 1 model, alright, and I had 2 heroes on me as well. Okay, I go back up the stairs to avoid the cav charge, and that was that. So, Alright, here we are on a supply point struggling to kill a single model of companion cavalry. These guys are quite good actually. I kinda, part of me wishes they were just like a traditional like charge straight cav, but train of thought's interrupted as we see a bunch of enemies arrive. And look how much stuff there is. There's so many enemy units here. Alright, there's some pike militia, but a lot of gray hair garrison that is getting destroyed. The gray hair garrison is getting destroyed. Look at how much damage we've taken. Now the Schwanjai heavy cav shows up and we start actually taking some damage. Now, the Schwanjai heavy cavalry are very powerful. Alright, they definitely do way too much damage. But my Iron Reapers are super tanky, and they're way too tanky. So it's really like unstoppable object versus unmovable force here. And I think it was a good trade overall. Like we had like 4 heroes on us. Look how many, like, bro. There are so many heroes, and even in the end we got like 1 alive even though I'm dead, and he just slaps that gray hair garrison. Yeah, and he's still alive, but you can see, like, I was fighting like 4 guys at once, and I was holding that supply point all by myself. Now look, my allies steamroll, coming over and steamroll the enemy off. So I would take credit for that happening. Alright. Okay guys, we are on Kirk Castle Redux, and here with the Iron Reapers, and we're gonna have some synergy play with the Alchemists. So here, I'm looking out for, I'm not just watching the enemy. I see some Shenji Grenadiers come up, and I'm trying to protect them, obviously. Now, I'm just waiting until the enemy team gets weakened up from the javelins and the coconuts and fire and bombs and all that. And as you can see, the enemy is starting to retreat. Like, the only thing that's really left now is kind of, I just see the shields. Now I'm wary of this enemy Iron Reaper stack, but look, basically the entire enemy team has escaped the point except the shield, and that's just free pickings for the Iron Reapers. Now I get Tiger Step on with the flail, and I get the CC immunity. That's why the bomb didn't have much effect, the musket bomb. Now the flail, alright, has a lot of block break. That's why I was Tiger Stepping with it, and I was dealing with shields, so I think it was the correct play. Now Shield Maidens came, and unfortunately I already did switch to sword, so that was the wrong play for me. But look at this whole clip. My Iron Reapers never fall below 75%, I think. Alright. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, the synergy is too good. I take barely any damage, and the damage I do take, the Alchemists heal it up. So this is a little later in the match. Right here, I'm waiting to push in on the final point. So, general tip in Conqueror's Blade, you want to push with the team, or when you have an opportunity when the enemy's weak or something. This winged Hussar player just YOLOs it straight into Fort Brachio pikemen, but Fort Brachio pikemen don't turn in time, and that gives us an opening. Now I'm charging right in there, switching to swords and Tiger Stepping, getting some kills, not a lot, so I get some. Now I was thinking about diving these round marksmen, decide against it. I just go to the point. Luckily I did, because this Dagger Lance Lancer charge came in. I interrupted it with my longsword ult. So if you guys haven't caught it, I've been doing it all video, or in all of my clips. I've been pressing my Mercy of Heaven because it's 10%. It increases all your allies' defense by 10% for 5 seconds, and with Iron Reapers, it's quite potent. So I recommend any longsword player to do it. I think it's probably one of the most synergistic classes that you can use with the Iron Reapers. And we see these shields here. My cooldowns are up, and now we just charge in. These ranging guards are getting some views with their breaker shield thing, and there's so many shields just showing up. Look at the kills. All right, it's just piling in. All right, I was thinking about diving that. Then I see this the phalanx, and they're so bad. That's it. They're just really bad, guys. I'm quite disappointed, actually, in the Phalanx. So, after all those clips, it brings me to the conclusion. The Iron Reapers definitely are one of the contenders for best unit in the game. The other being Shuanjai Heavy Cavalry. Because they just counter every infantry, all the meta infantry units so well. Like, they counter everything, really. Phalanx. They counter them. Partially because Phalanx is definitely weak right now. They only counter Cav, and that's literally it. They don't do much else. But they kind of afford Rockio Pikemen. You just walk through them. All right, I've done that before. I took like 2 losses. It's painful, but the other 16 will just slaughter them all. And Wu Mansion Guard actually stand no chance. They actually, since they have no shields, the swords actually just destroy them. Men at Arms, they have a better chance, but still, they still get slaughtered by these guys. They don't do enough to really phase the Iron Reapers, really. Even Imperial Pike Guard, you just, they advance you and you just pop Tiger Step and you're immune to all CC and you just kill the entire unit. Really no infantry unit is safe. Like Palace Guards just switch to Flail. That's the only infantry unit, by the way, where I would switch to Flail and attack because of their Guard the Throne ability. But they just counter everything with this build. Maybe if any of you guys watching this video have a better build, maybe you're going top line and everything else is going on bottom. You have a different doctrine setup. Tell me about it in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong about this. You know, maybe there is a better build. But right now they're super broken, and I recommend you guys use it before it gets nerfed, which is probably never, now that I think about it, because they don't nerf anything. Well, that's the end of the video, and I thank you all for watching. Drop a sub to the channel, and like the video if you can. Anyways, bye.